Well, there are a lot of issues, ladies and gentlemen, to talk about, but something which perhaps irks a lot of us and makes some people wonder, what should you put first? Your own political interests, your own inherent hatred for a political opposition or a choice of an ideology over other, or should you put India and Bharat first? Now that's one point. The other one is that you got the freedom to speak your mind. So what's wrong in going and expressing and saying something which you feel? But as a Neta, as leader opposition, as an MP, as a seasoned politician, and someone who harbors the dream of leading the nation in the future, becoming future Prime Minister sometime, are your utterances devoid of facts? Should your utterances be covered in facts, truth? And should you ever put Bharat in a compromising position? Now, these are all questions. We get their points of view individually. Zaka Jacob, Rahul Gandhi is the person we are talking about. His America visit is what it is. Whenever he goes abroad, why is there such a big bawal back home?
I want to divide this in two parts. So the first part is, obviously, there was a certain image, a certain perception of Rahul Gandhi prior to 2024. And I firmly believe that the result of 2024 and the 3 months thereafter have changed that image. Frankly, I think we in the media were late to pick up that change of perception of Rahul Gandhi, how people of India view him. I think much of that change happened when he did the Bharat Jodo. Of course, the media did cover the Bharat Jodo, but I think somewhere along the way in those 3,000-4,000 kilometers that he walked, he underwent a bit of a transformation. Not just him personally, but I think the way a good number of people were viewing him also changed. Of course, the media picked it up after the 2024 election result. One part of the problem with all of what he said in the last week in the United States is, I think it diminishes that image change or that transformation that he had over the last year and a half, or certainly in the last 3 months since the election result, which was there for everyone to see. Because I think one part is what you said, compromising Bharat, compromising national interests. I'll get to that in 1 second. But more than that, I think it compromised Rahul Gandhi's own, you want to call it coming of age, or you want to call it the fact that he's now being taken more as a serious politician. I think his utterances in the US have undermined that a bit. So that's one part of it. The second part, to answer your question about, should he put national interest first? Of course, all of us should put national interest first. There's no doubt about it. But to expect that Rahul Gandhi as opposition leader here in India is going to say a set of things and then go to America or France or Germany or Britain or whatever and not say any of those things, I think that's frankly, unfair. And more importantly, particularly in the context where the Prime Minister, when he goes abroad, it's not like he doesn't say stuff that has resonance back home. So if he can do it, if it's kosher, then it's kosher for Rahul Gandhi.
But there's just that thin line where the Prime Minister takes jibe at the Congress party, at the opposition per se, yes. And Rahul Gandhi is very well within his rights as a politician to take jibes at the Prime Minister. But somewhere the Prime Minister has drawn that line that it does not affect the image of India and how India is perceived, but compared to what a Rahul Gandhi would do, where perhaps that line is a little blurred, especially when you're trying to point out to a Sikh journalist and make those comments that you did, which is devoid of facts. And you should know your own history. Where are you coming from? Half that lot which is sitting there today is sitting there because and pushing this kind of an agenda is because of what you did back home or you could not do back home, Rao Shankar. So how can, you say no, it's kosher. For me, it's not kosher for Mr. Rahul Gandhi or Rahul Gandhi to say what he did. And especially, and then hobnob sit with people who are saying, let's look at a plebiscite or a referendum on Jammu and Kashmir. Lawmakers who are inimical to Bharat. Why would you sit and have a cup of tea with them? I would engage with lawmakers who are, working on a pro-India agenda.
Well, pro-India or not, even if you were sitting among certain people who did not subscribe to your point of view or a pro-India point of view, as you suggested, I would suggest that you would challenge them.
Yeah.
You would try to divest them of their notion of India, ill-conceived, as in the case of Ilhan Omar. But just coming back to that, I'll just address that. I just want to go back a little bit to what Zach was saying, and I think I'll pick up from where he sort of left off. Rahul has perfected the art of speaking among the people. I think we missed this as journalists. So I think the yatra that he took out was his effort of inserting himself within the people as a people's champion. In fact, I would suggest that we look upon him now as a super populist. He is actually the populist many people have been suggesting that it's Prime Minister Modi who's the populist. But actually, Mr. Modi is not quite the populist in the classical sense of the term. He advocates for the people, but he also draws a line where you don't give to the people everything that they expect, because that, of course, is the road sometimes to ruin. Right. So Rahul Gandhi has occupied that space as a populist, and he is cut from the image of a Trump. So he can say whatever he wants to. There's an alt fact that Rahul Gandhi presents, which Trump has mastered. So basically, he's borrowed a lot from the lexicon of Trump. You keep saying something 50 times and it becomes the truth. It doesn't matter really whether it is the truth or not. That is for people like us to sit there and fact check. And because he has positioned himself so close to the people's interest, that the people say, "Theek hai to bol raha hai."
But Rahul,
Why are these people after him? Because they're all Modi bhaks.
Their entire international media is busy trying to portray Modi as Trump. Here you are saying no, Rahul is Trump.
But that is true. Now, look at the issues that he has championed. They're very populist issues. I mean, there have been people from within the Congress that have said that, look, when it comes to this, maximum pension scheme, the OPS, don't do it for God's sakes. It'll win you that election, my friend. Don't give those freebies, those 6 guarantees of, free bus rides, etc., because someone has to basically pay for them. And eventually it's going to be the state that is left holding the can, and via the state it's us. But that doesn't stop Rahul Gandhi. He wins the election. Mr. Trump right now is in that sort of, framework where he's making outlandish claims. Immigrants eat cats. I mean, just look at the ridiculousness of it. Rahul Gandhi says you can't wear turbans in India or a kada. Now, you can sit there and fact check him. My problem actually is that this was a great opportunity for Rahul Gandhi. In Westminster system, the leader of the opposition is virtually the shadow prime minister. To project himself as an agent of change to the Americans. He could have, and look at the people he's actually ended up meeting. Is that really the
Are
pull?
they really the agents of
Is
change?
that the pull of Mr. Rahul Gandhi? I would have aimed for someone really high up, maybe even Biden. Maybe even the Undersecretary of State or the Secretary of State or what have you, people who are actually in the business of devising policy. Ilhan Omar, Babra, so-and-so, such and such, Ro Khanna, all these characters, you sit amongst them and you start, actually in Hindi they say, haan mein haan milayin with them. Now, it behoves you to say, listen, I'm here. Yes, we have problems. We are not a perfect democracy. But madam, I have a problem with you. Imagine had Rahul Gandhi come out saying that. Imagine, he would have done something that Mr. Jaishankar did in 2019. He was invited for a massive meeting, and there was someone called Premila Jayapal. She was a lawmaker, and he said, I'm sorry, till that lady is there, I am not coming for this meeting because she misrepresents what India is doing in Jammu and Kashmir. And they said, well, sorry then, we can't let go of our own lawmaker.
But,
So he
you
said,
know,
well, okay.
No, well, okay, I won't attend. I won't attend.
My question is, there are two parts again, right? So, yeah, Rahul is right partly that Rahul Gandhi can say whatever he wants to say because there's no political downside to it. There's no political cost to pay for him. Whereas the Prime Minister can't afford to do that because there are diplomatic costs to pay for it, there are political costs to pay for it. So, Rahul Gandhi is in this unique position where he can throw his punches, right? And hope that some land. Some may land, some may not land. But the problem with what he said about the Sikhs, if for a moment, and I want to put this question out there, if for a moment, instead of Sikhs, he said Muslims in India, right, are afraid of wearing the hijab. Muslims in India are afraid of eating what they want to eat. Muslims in India are afraid of going to the masjid. Would there have been this kind of outrage?
Of course there would have been.
Why?
Because I'll tell you what, in our country today, his own partners in the INDI alliance, now he got that also wrong. India alliance is INDIA alliance. Now, that's what somebody was trying to tell him. Grammatically is wrong, but he was trying to be bullheaded about it. But let's the India alliance, the Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray Sena took exception to a BJP leader distributing burqas and hijab in Mumbai, in Maharashtra. And this is the same lot which said that students should be allowed to wear, irrespective of the rules, inside the classroom. Nobody is stopping you from wearing a burqa or a hijab in our country. You can wear it as long as the rules define that in this place you're not supposed to have any
No,
religious.
my question is different.
So
if
the
instead
outrage would have been there.
of Sikhs, if he had said Muslims, I don't think there would have been as much outrage.
No, there would have been an outrage because
Rahul?
So why didn't Rahul say this?
Why
because,
didn't he say?
because there's a political downside to
That's
it. That's
Yeah.
the reason.
So because eventually, what do? You consolidate the Hindu vote, which is what Rahul Gandhi doesn't want to do through his politics right now.
I just want to add on this whole lynchings and why Muslims, some of them may
A
feel that
Bangladeshi is
they're
organizing
feeling
the event for him, Zaka,
that
and he's
they are
not
feeling-
raised the issue of
no,
Hindus
that
in
they've-
Bangladesh.
That they're feeling
That might be
insecure.
true. He's selective.
The point is not whether there is 1 out of 17 crore or 2 instances in 17 crore population. The point is, no one should die in this country. No one should be killed in this country because of he or she, what they are eating. That's the first point. The second point is somebody representing the state, and I'm just putting it out there, the state has to come out and say, this is not okay. This is not acceptable. This is a democracy. This is a country that believes in the rule of law. Someone needs to come out there and say, this needs to stop. Has anybody said it? That's the problem.
No, so
and remember one thing.
but did the same lot which say that nobody should be killed because of what they eat, did they come out and say that nobody should call out for Sartan se juda? Nobody should call out for what they believe in.
two wrongs don't make
No.
a-
So
two
I'm
wrongs
just saying,
don't
no. So
make
you
a
got to
right.
call out both.
Yeah.
You
Two
can't
wrongs
just
don't
call
make
out
a
one
right.
side
No, but-
single.
but
You
Anand-
can't be selective
but
about what you
Anand,
call
remember
out.
that
You can't be
look at
selective
Rahul
about
Gandhi's
call out.
politics. He's very clever. He knows that more Hindus
Nobody
than Muslims.
stopped Rahul Gandhi from wearing a turban. How can he come out and stand there and say Sikh cannot wear a
But
turban?
let me make a point. What is Rahul Gandhi getting at? He knows, and there are people who voted for Rahul Gandhi and his party. They took it from some 50 odd seats to almost 100 seats. He knows because more Hindus and Muslims oppose any move to impose UCC. More Hindus and Muslims oppose the real places, the repeal of the Places of Worship Act of 1991. More Hindus and Muslims oppose the NRC. More Hindus and Muslims oppose, my friends, any move to liberate temples from state control.
You've just read out the Rahul Shiv Shankar laundry list of what is wrong with the right.
So that is the issue. So so this is a deliberate ploy on his part. This is a deliberate ploy on his part to play a particular kind of politics. Now, whether you like it or you don't,
See,
my dear, it's the voter that decides.
My simple point is, sir, when you go abroad, when you go on foreign soil, we all are ambassadors of our country. We all, the way we behave, the way we choose to utter our utterances, the way we conduct ourselves reflects on who we are as a country, and it reflects on what people think of us as country. It applies to every single Indian, not just Rahul Gandhi. It applies every single Indian, but especially to people who are in position of influence, position of prominence, position of power, and especially position like the leader of opposition.
If it's
And it
kosher
applies to
for
everyone.
those in government, it should be kosher,
Kosher for those in opposition. Yeah.